So for today's Amy Rosenberg's video, we read chapters 4 through 6, and it was basically chapter 4 was basically going over a PR pro's position with working with a reporter, and it's to make the reporter's job easier, not harder. And one of the key takeaways that I learned from this is that quick replies equals building trust. And when you're waiting to hear back from a contact, just um, don't like make any promises quick, like right away. You gotta wait till you hear back from that contact, and make sure you get the okay. And if you make a promise right away, then you will then you might have to break that promise later on if the contact says no. And also, don't pitch any exclusives on the same simultaneously thing. Once you get a no, you're free to move on to the next contact. And for chapter 5, the deadlines, we're focusing on like the deadlines for printed newspapers and online uh, newspapers as well. It is mostly now online newspapers, but one of the key takeaways is that newspapers have strict deadlines, and that's what makes it different from magazines. Is that magazines have longer deadlines, which it's about you need to have stuff prepared 6 months out. And with monthly magazines, you need to have stuff 3 months out. It's a little shorter, but the goal is to know when and how to pitch each type so your story has the best chance of placement. The surprise key takeaway from this was that it's not a bad idea to CC the editor, because if you are unsure, it's a safeguard to give your story a better chance of getting it into the right hands. And a key takeaway from chapter 6 is that when you are attempting to get field reporters to come out and cover their story with we learned about the different news types. And as a PR pro, you help a lot with television, which was kind of crazy to me. Like, you are in charge with like giving scripts out. And one of the key takeaways is that with TV prioritizes stories that feel urgent and are locally relevant. So you got to make sure your stories they feel timely and that they are audience focused to better your chance. The surprise from this is that even if the message is strong, and it and Rosenberg she emphasized this, that if it's not strong enough, then it won't air if it's not visually compelling. Because with TV, it's all about visuals, and because people are looking and seeing, not just seeing. It's primarily different than radio because they're just listening to the news. But with TVs, they're watching news clips and all that, so you need to make sure it's not just a strong message, it's also visually compelling. For the rules, rule number 6 surprised me the most. It's that you should never follow up more than 2 times with the exact same pitch. If it's not getting enough tension, then you either need to change the approach or the context. That surprised me because I thought like you would have to get a whole different approach or a whole different pitch, but you need to just change the approach or context. I honestly agreed with all the rules. I didn't have a disagreement for anything because they all were practical and ethical.